Welcome to our next guest, Tim Telford, a candidate for the City of Victor Harbor. Tim, from your business and community experience, what do you bring to council?
Well, from community life, I was president of the local Lions Club when I was in fact the youngest member of the club. I've served several terms as president of the local yacht club. In my previous term on council from 2010-2014, I was on several of their committees. I was heavily involved in the establishment of Carricalinga House opposite the old police station. I was chairman of the board of management for several years of that. And I've been self-employed since I was about 23 years old.
Good governance of council, what does that mean to you?
Well, in strict terms, I guess it means the adherence to all the rules and regulations which state government has laid out for us. But for that to actually work in practice, it involves everybody working as a team, treating people with respect and doing things by the right procedures.
Over the last 4 years, there's been many instances of disharmony in the council. How would you overcome it?
I think what we need to do is stop doing things which have proven not to work. I will certainly not be supporting endless code of conduct complaints, not because they're not necessarily justified, but because they've proven not to work. And they are costly both in time and money. So that's something that I would definitely do is try and find a different way of getting people to work as a team. And also, I find that if you treat people and their ideas with respect, you usually get that respect back.
Major issues of the council has been the cost of the council-run businesses, the horse tram, whale centre, FRAC and the Waste Management Authority. Have you got any views about that?
Yes, I think we have to acknowledge that some facilities and services to the community are going to run at a loss. However, it's important that we reduce those losses to the minimum. I'm very excited actually to see the new management model being rolled out for the horse tram. I think that will result in a much better service and a saving of money. Perhaps that sort of model could be applied to some of these other things.
Rates are a major issue for any council, and in particular Victor Harbor. Have you got a view about the rates?
The amount of rates rises that have occurred over the last decade are unsustainable. If we carry that into the future, we're going to create a lot of social dislocation. We have to reduce them, reduce the rises at least. And having had one term on council, I have some definite ideas on how we can reduce costs to the community without reducing the services.
Council committees, are you prepared to serve on them?
Not only prepared, I'm eager to serve on them. I believe they are one of the most important contacts that council has between themselves and the community. Not everybody on council can be expected to know everything about everything, and this is a fantastic conduit for people who have an interest in and a knowledge of various aspects of our community to have input into council deliberations. It's important to realise that every single decision has to be ratified by council. These committees do not control anything. They are simply there as a resource for council, and I believe a very important one.
Community forums, what does that mean to you?
Since the time I was first elected in 2010, there have been community forum once a year. I believe this has an opportunity to be expanded. We need more, and maybe there's a chance to have a forum on one or two particular issues.
Our state government is pushing more and more regulations and obligations onto councils. How will you approach that area?
Yes, this is definitely a problem. I believe that local government has to be encouraged to take a far more forceful stand in defence of local government. I know that the charges at the dump are going up largely as a result of government charges. For private people, I know they're $100 a tonne. I don't know what council is paying. I know I have an inquiry in on, but that is the sort of thing that we have to resist.
rate capping. Your thoughts?
That question relates back to the previous one to some extent. I would like to see rates capped, but only on some conditions. Firstly, we need state government to abide by their own rules. If state government was to restrict all their increases to the CPI and stop cost shifting to local government, it should be possible for local government to cap rates to CPI. Under the current circumstances, unfortunately, it's impossible, but we have to try and be as near as we can.
Planning approval by council's cap. Council only has one member on that panel. Your views?
This is a problem caused completely by the state government, who have no real regard for the local community's input. I believe again this is a case where the LGA has let us down badly by not fighting for local people to have a say in what happens in their own town. The only thing that council can do now, I believe, is to go back to their plans and make sure that they are very detailed, very specific, and make it so that it's very hard to step outside them.
Tim, can you give a summary as to why you believe people should vote for you?
I have experience on council from 2010-2014. I served on several committees, economic development, I was the representative on the Fraua board, boating committee, rec and sport committee. These are all issues of interest to me. I am now semi-retired, having been self-employed since I was about 23. I have the time and the energy and the passion to do it. Authorised by Tim Telfer, 34 Norfolk Avenue, Victor Harbor, South Australia. Spoken by Terry Andrews and Tim Telfer.
South Coast Television, your community, your voice.